Ubisoft's upcoming sequel The Division 2 isn't just skipping Steam, according to the United Kingdom-based digital game retailer Gamesplanet. Ubisoft's previously announced Epic Games Store semi-exclusivity. The game means it will not be sold on other digital stores either once it fully launches. Purchasing the game from one of those third-party websites lends purchase of the code to then redeem on a plane. But it seems that Ubisoft is cutting out the middleman altogether and making it so the game can only be purchased through the Epic Games Store, other companies on a Play platform, after the game's March 15th release. After this date, the game will digitally only be available through Ubisoft's Store and another exclusive digital store. This will also be true for all upcoming game content, such as Season Pass, extensions, etc. Reads the notice on Gamesplanet. Other third-party stores, like Green Man Gaming, have also updated their listings for The Division 2 with a similar, but shorter, notice. So far, it's a similar arrangement to when it was announced that The Division 2 WOULDNT launch on Steam earlier this year, with the noticeable difference that the store page for The Division 2 was pulled from Steam almost immediately after the exclusivity. Retailers like Gamesplanet and Green Man Gaming, meanwhile, will still be able to sell keys for the game up until the second it releases. Ubisoft has said in the past that its deal with Epic has helped boost the amount of money the company itself sees for every copy sold, thanks to a better revenue share and increased traffic to its own storefront. Though it's difficult to gauge the exact effect skipping Steam has had on the game quite yet, I think the Epic deal is a deal that was important for us, said Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot in a conference call last month. Because it really helped us to do actually more of our business on our own store and have a better revenue per unit sold. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Wells Fargo Securities said in a joint court filing yesterday that they have agreed to settle a lawsuit over 38 studios. The studio, known for developing Indoor Survivor, was founded by former Boston Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling and shut down back in 2012 after running out of money, and has been the subject of a long-running legal battle with the state. Final approval has been delayed due to the current government shutdown. But lawyers for both parties asked a federal judge to put the case on hold until after the shutdown is over, to give the second its relevant divisions and offices time to consider and approve the settlement in principle. As reported by the Boston Herald, details of the PROCDSCTTLDNENTU have not been disclosed. Schilling moved the company from Massachusetts to Rhode Island in 2010 after the Rhode Island Commerce Corp agreed to give the studio a $75 million loan guarantee. The SEC said Wells Fargo and the Commerce Corp allegedly failed to disclose that 38 studios needed at least $75 million, but would receive only $50 million of proceeds from the bond offering, leaving a $25 million gap. The complaint filed in 2012 claimed that many of the defendants knew or should have known, but failed to inform the ADC board that 38 studios was destined to fail according to 38 studios on financial projections. 38 studios filed for bankruptcy less than 2 years after the move, prompting investigations and lawsuits into the company. Steel division developer Udan Systems has fired 6 employees involved in an ongoing pay dispute, which represents around a quarter of its entire workforce. Prior to the sackings, there were around 21 developers left at the French studio. which has been lambasted by staff over the past 2 years for failing to compensate them for overtime, ignoring minimum wage laws, and refusing to acknowledge employee contracts. The situation boiled over in February this year, when a group of union devs walked out on strike, although they were ultimately forced to return to work 2 months later after management refused to negotiate. Since then, the Video Game Workers Union of France, STIF, has promised to help union employees fight for their rights with all the legal means at its disposal, and is in the process of bringing a case against union to a labor tribunal. For its part, union claims the firings are unrelated to the ongoing pay dispute, but the STIF has branded the move an act of retaliation. We believe that this was an act of retaliation and a preemptive move by management ahead of a case over low pay being brought against union systems by 15 employees as well as the STIF. The case is due to go before the labor tribunal in March 2019, wrote the STIF. The 6 workers were fired under the pretext of having negatively affected the mood greater ambience of the studio and used insulting language in a conversation that took place in a private chat channel. All 6 were participants in this year's strike. Those interested can read the STIF's full account of the situation right here. One of the chief differences between the Epic Games Store and Steam, outside of revenue share splits, is the farmers' lack of user reviews and other feedback-focused tools. But Epic Games founder Tim Sweeney says that difference will not stand for long. Epic Games currently has a review system in the works for its store, though Sweeney notes that developers will not be required to have user reviews on their games' star pages. Instead, the system will require devs to opt into reviews, something Sweeney notes on Twitter aims to counteract review bombing and other gaming the system type issues that tend to plague user reviews. The system will be based on the review setup of the Unreal Engine marketplace. As well, Steam has introduced changes to its own review system in the past to try and mitigate review bombing. When people flood a game with negative reviews as a reaction to something other than the game's quality, Steam will flag when a high number of reviews suddenly flow in and display a chart showing review trends when it detects foul play. All of the safeguards can currently be found on the Steam store pages for Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux were scorned. Steam users are bombarding both games with negative reviews to protest Deep Silver's recent decision to host the latest PC Metro game, Metro Exodus, exclusively on the Epic Games Store for 1 year. Today's the day. Organizers of the 2019 Game Developers Conference are excited to reveal the winners of this YARSBEST in Play Awards. This award program is part of the popular 3D YGDC Play 2019 event, which helps engine developers showcase their work at BD. Having your game selected as a winning entry is kind of a big deal, because BD Play exhibitors had their games, not all of which are finished, judged by a panel of veteran BD organizers. Now, each of these 8 Best in Play award winners, listed below, will receive all access passes to the 2020 Game Developers Conference. Winners will also receive special Best in Play designations they can attach to their taglit DD 2019, where their games will be playable by all BD attendees. Plus, if you are a GDC All Access Pass holder, you can directly contact all BD Play exhibitors via GDC Play matchmaking software. Again, all of these games will be available to play in the BD Play on-site exhibit this year at DD Play 2019, which will be open Wednesday through Friday, March 20th through the 22nd, inside the Moscone Convention Center. This year, there will be a VR Play area, supported by HTC, where you will be able to play an assortment of VR games. Best in Play 2019 winners. Away, the Survival Series Breaking Walls.